as we get started on everything here. I want to welcome everybody. Good evening to webinar number 13. Thank you for allowing me to have last week off while I did a little staycation, as they say.
Did we have a choice?
Anyway, I am now muting everybody, so all of you are being turned off, and you can unmute yourself if you have to, but I'm hoping that my guest is here with us. I saw him on there, and my special guest and co-host this evening is Santa Andy Gould, and it's actually Dr. Andrew Gould, and he is going to be helping us tonight with the Reindeer's Guide to Fitness. So welcome, Santa Andy. You got to unmute.
Tim.
There he is. Okay.
Yes. How's everybody doing?
Well, we're not gonna let them open their mics and talk to us, because if they open their mics and talk to us, we won't get anything done.
Okay.
But we will. We might be able to open it up near the end if we have time for questions from everybody.
Sure.
In the meantime, you can ask questions on the chat box down at the bottom of your screen. There's a little button for chat. You may put questions in there, and we'll try to monitor those through the evening. And if there's questions about something that Dr. Gould talks about, why, of course, you can click on that or put your question in there, and we'll try to get that as we go by on this evening, okay? And we're going to let a few more people in. We're going to get to the main topic of our webinar in just a few moments. I have a couple things I want to get out of the way. As always, I'd like to give you some updates on what's going on in the industry. And like I always tell everybody, these webinars are presented every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. They're on Zoom. If you need information on how to log into them, just go to my website, nationalsanta.com. On the main menu bar, there's a little tab that says webinar, and you click on that and it will give you all the information about the webinars that I present. Links to past webinars are also there, or at least you tell you how to get to Facebook, where all the webinars are live streamed and where we record them. Also, I take the recorded versions, edit them a little bit, and everything is put onto YouTube. So the past 12 webinars are all on YouTube on a variety of subjects, and you can go to, you can just click on the link on my website, and it'll take you right to that special page, which has all the different webinars, and you can decide if you need to watch something or you don't want to watch a particular subject or that type of thing. So we do have that going. Again, like I said, I'm sorry I missed last week. Barbara and I took a little time off for a little staycation, and with all the things that have been going on, we had to do some adjusting and just get our heads together a little bit. We've been pushing the envelope a lot here the last couple months, and we just needed time to adjust a little bit. I want to let you know that, by the way, we're back on track for the webinars. There's only about 4 or 5 more left. I finished these in September. And by the way, on September 8th, Megan Price, and some of you may know her as Megan Frisbee, but Megan Price of Gig Salad will be with us. And she's going to join us to talk and to give information to the Santas who do use Gig Salad, or any type of other service, I guess you might want to say, but the thing particularly Gig Salad, on how to set yourself up on there. Because a lot of guys, they put their picture on and they sign up for Gig Salad, but there are a lot more things you can do, and she's going to give you some handy hints on how to enhance your position and your look and everything else that you have on Gig Salad, and hopefully give you opportunities to find more bookings. Plus, at the end of her presentation, we'll be open to questions about Gig Salad. Now, I know some of you are not signed up for it. Some of you signed up and went to what they call on a dormant mode, where you don't have to pay your monthly fees, but as Christmas comes, you kick back in. And what she's doing is doing this in September so that you have time to decide if you're going to get in and get set up, and she'll give you some handy hints. And she also will give you some links to their website, because on their website, they have a whole bunch of videos on setting yourself up and working with them. So that's all going to be next week, or not next week, September 8th is that right? Next week, I'll be talking a little more about our image and things like that. Another item I want to pass on to everyone is regarding working this year. I know a lot of you have been worried about all the different things going on. Some of you are working or possibly going to be working at a mall or shopping center or something like that. And we did get some information yesterday that was put out by Cherry Hill to all of their Santas. And they've actually set up quite a nice protocol. And I am sure that outside of their company, other people are going to look at their protocols and consider using them. One of the things they're going to require is that every one of their Santas prior to starting work have a COVID-19 test. And in other words, an official test and cleared, and then present that paperwork showing that they are not a carrier, that they're clear. So that's prior to starting the season. If they should get infected during the season, of course, they'll have to stop work immediately. They're also going to require that all of their Santas quarantine for 14 days before starting work, wherever they're going. So they've got that in there. They'll have thermometers on the set. Everybody will be checked daily with the thermometers. Lots of little special protocols. This is probably going to happen just about everywhere that Santas work. And you may have people request from you, have you been tested? So if you have an opportunity to get the test, that swab down your nose is so much fun. But whatever type of test, but to be tested for COVID-19, you may want to consider that you may have to do that before the season starts, okay? So that's one of the things they've got in there. One other thing I wanted to give you some information on, some people had asked in a previous webinar about getting insurance. Should you be working and all of a sudden somebody gets infected and they want to sue Santa because they got infected? Well, no insurance company is offering any insurance like that. None of the Santa, even the insurance companies that are insured Santas in the past already had clauses in there. That's clause with an E, by the way. They had little sections in their contracts, which are in their insurance policies, which stated they did not cover any type of insurance should someone want to sue you because they got the flu from you, or they got a cold from you, or any other type of contagious type thing. That's not what the liability insurance covers. It covers you against physical damage and accidents and things like that. And I don't know of anybody offering any insurance against this. That's why, again, it's protection. Plus, if anybody tried to do anything, they're going to have to trace it back. And that's difficult to do, doing all of that tracing and everything and I don't think any Santas are actually going to be out there as carriers. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that came from people at Carter Campbell, and they are the largest insurer of Santas through all the Santa associations and things like that. And they said they don't know of any other company that's offering any other type of policy. So if somebody comes to you and says you've got to show proof of insurance, liability insurance to protect them against getting, COVID-19, there is none. There's no such animal. So, don't have anybody try to force you or tell you got to have that type of insurance, because there isn't any. Okay. So that kind of covers all of that little bit of information. So now I want to get back to our special guest and co-host for this evening, Dr. Andrew Gould, aka Santa Andy. And how do you want to be addressed this evening?
Oh, Andy's fine.
Okay, Andy is fine then. And this came about a couple of weeks ago. Andy contacted me after one of our webinars and said that, and introduced himself and said that he was a doctor and that he was very, he helped all of his patients and people with their fitness and health and things like that. And he wanted to share information for the Santa community. And in my Santa school, I teach, like professional Santas like Boy Scouts should always be prepared. And being prepared reduces stress and makes your job easier and more fun. And I'm sure that you and everyone watching or listening will agree on this, okay? I teach there are two types of preparedness you need to address, okay? The first one is the one we think of most, which is having our suits ready, our clothes ready, and the maps and the directions and the contracts and all the things for getting ready for the parties. But the secondary preparedness is what we're going to cover this evening. And it's an area that we often neglect. It's our physical condition, our health. Are you flexible? Can your body take the actions and stress of the holiday season and things like that? So Andy, it is Dr. Andy. It is yours to tell everybody about the Reindeer's Guide to Fitness. So I'm turning it over to Dr. Andy Gould.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim. How's everybody doing? Pretty good? Right now, oh, excellent, excellent. Right now, if we have been going to the gym, we're not doing that anymore. So when I talked to Tim, we had come up with a little bit of fitness, and we're going to start. I'm a chiropractor, been a chiropractor in New Jersey for 25 years, and a certified personal trainer, certified strength and conditioning specialist for the last 15. So I've been trying to help out people everywhere from big time bodybuilders and powerlifters to grandmas. So we can help out everybody, we try. Okay, we're gonna start. Dasher and Dancer, here we go. These guys represent your cardio, okay? The American Heart Association recommends you get at least 150 minutes per week of a moderate intensity aerobic activity. 150, at least 150, that's 2.5 hours. Okay, or 75 minutes of vigorous. Now that's a little bit more aerobic activity, some kind of combination or therefore throughout the week. All right.
That's for those 30-year-old Santas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now that is the 150 minutes can be broken down. You could go 5 times a week for 30 minutes, or 3 times a week for 50 minutes. Now, if you do that, that's like taking some kind of class, like a spin class, an aerobics class, low impact aerobics, or like a boxing class, or like a co-ed combat where I used to work. We had something like that. Now, the 75 minutes, this is a little more vigorous. You could break that down 3 times a week for 25 minutes. Well, basically, that's a nice, quick, very brisk walk. You get that for 25 minutes, get the heart rate up, you'll be doing good. Or 3 times a week for 50 minutes, okay? That works out to 3 more classes, okay? Now, with that being said, what you want to do is you definitely want to get the okay of your primary care physician or your cardiologist or whoever you go to, an internist, to make sure that it's okay that you get yourself involved in a program and going to the gym. I don't know how many people are actually going to the gym, but you definitely want to get in touch with your doctor before you start any of these programs. Okay, the cardio we're talking about can be various things. It could be walking, it could be biking, it could be swimming. Now, right there, those 3 comprise is a triathlon. If you're into that sort of thing, okay. Then you can go with the elliptical, Zumba. Zumba's great. That's just dancing and music. That's excellent. Or any type of low impact aerobic, and that could be just a step class. It could be a spin class. Even water aerobics is low impact, and that's great. When we talk about swimming, that's one of the things I used to talk to my patients about all the time, is if you got a bad back, if you can get into a pool and swim. Now, you guys don't have to swim like Johnny Weissmuller, Tarzan. You get into the pool, you get a kickboard, and you just motor up and down the pool. And the non-weight-bearing effect of the water stretches and opens up all your disc spaces, and it helps with the low back. It's great exercise to get into. And then really basically anything that's going to increase your heart rate can be done, whether it's, yard work or working around the house, go up and down ladders, things like that. Anything that's going to bring up your heart rate is going to be good for you. Okay, Prancer. Okay, let's talk about stretching and flexibility. And stretching, the beauty of stretching is that it can be done just about anywhere and about any time. And the best thing, when you get up in the morning, you can start right away. You start right away with working and stretching your low back. Now, here's
by the way, I start my stretching in the morning. I do it laying on my back in bed. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's one of the easiest places to do it.
That's it. You lay back. You put your arms to the side. You bring your knees up. Put your feet right on the bed. Make sure you don't have your shoes on. And guess how I found that? I should have my shoes on the bed. You bring your knees and you slowly bring them to the left side. You hold it for 8 to 15 seconds. bring it back up, nice and slow. Go to the other side, right side. Same thing, 8 to 15 seconds. Bring it back up. Now, if you could do 3 sets for each side, you're doing good. That's excellent. After you get up, now you can do one of two things. You can go and you can start stretching your upper body, or you can take a shower, nice warm shower, and get back into the stretching again. And for the upper body, you're going to do, I'm going to show you, we're going to do a side stretch. You take your arm, you put it on your back, and you just push up on your elbow. Stretches all the way down your side, all right? That's good, 8 to 15 seconds. Then you switch it up and you do the other side. You stretch it out, 8 to 15 seconds. Shake it out there. And this is pretty quick. I mean, you're done within 5 or so minutes. Then you want to stretch your shoulder. You bring the arm across. Now, you could start with your palm down and you bring it in, hold it for 18, to 8 to 15 seconds. Then you can turn your hand over. It drops your shoulder down and you get a little bit better stretch into the shoulder. Same thing, 8 to 15 seconds. Bing, bang, boom, done. Then you switch it up because you definitely want to do on one side what you do to the other. Your chest. Put your hands behind your back and raise them up, and you'll feel the stretch right through your pecs. Go ahead like that. You do that 8 to 15, same thing, 3 sets. Now the back, just push away, round your back. Feel that whole stretch right in there. Boom, feels good. All right, same thing with that. Now, when we're gonna do lower body, I'm gonna stand up and hopefully you can see that we're gonna do a hammy stretch. Now, hopefully you can see this. How's that, can you see, Tim?
Oh, I love those knees.
You like them, huh? Yeah. Had them since I was a kid. Put your foot up and you push down on your quad, and you'll feel the back of your leg. Those are your hamstrings. You'll also feel it in your calf. So we'll do one set there, 8 to 15. Do the same thing here. Feel that good, nice and easy. Gonna do the quads. What are we gonna do with the quads? We're just gonna lunge. And you're gonna feel it all up through here. 8 to 15, good, come back up, switch it up. And there we go.
A lot of people, they wonder about these stretching exercises and everything. George Burns, when he was in his 90s, did an exercise video. It was all stretching exercises. And one of the things he was trying to show everybody was that because of the stretching exercises he did, it kept his mobility and his balance and gave him the luxury of getting around so easily when he was in his 90s, because every morning he got up and did a series of stretching exercises.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. What you just have to remember when you stretch is nice and easy, nice and steady. You just pull on and nice and slow. What you don't want to do is ballistic movements. Where you get all of a sudden you start yanking it across. That'll lead to unhappy Santas, that's for sure. So yeah, you want to keep everything nice and smooth and nice smooth motion, and just take your time. Okay, now if you want to think about stretching and flexibility, not only can you do those stretches, but you can also do Tai Chi. Tai Chi is another one, very rhythmic and very pushing, and that's good for balance, that's good for muscle tone. Yoga and chair yoga, very good for that. Now I have a link that I gave to Tim that I think he's going to have on his website. It's about yoga for bigger bodies, and I watched it, and that was fantastic. Had a large person doing yoga, and yoga's great for flexibility. It's good for endurance, and it's an all-round full body like stretching and flexibility, along with Pilates. And you could do chair Pilates. You don't have to necessarily get on the ground, because I know a lot of us getting down on the ground takes a while to get back up. I get that. I've been there. I got it. Okay. Vixen.
By the way, you mentioned the links.
Yes.
The special links and stuff like that. On my website, where we have webinars, just below the word webinars, two lines below, it'll say fitness Webinar Fitness. And what I have there is a listing of about 11 different YouTube videos that Dr. Gould has put together, this list. And we've got all the links there on different subjects. And there's different types of aerobics, things for the bigger body, a little bit of Pilates, and there's even an ab workout that you use one of those giant balls to help you work on your abs. So all kinds of things there.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, there was a lot. YouTube was very helpful in supplying me with a lot of the videos. It was great. Just type in what you're looking for, and bang, they were there, and went through them, and everything looked good. Okay, Vixen. All right, there's an old saying that goes, I used to tell my patients and people that I would train, strong abs, strong low back. All right, they go hand in hand. Remember years ago, I remember as a kid watching the Summer Olympics, you had the Olympic weightlifting, the Russian, Valiy Alexeyev, had a big belly and he was huge. He was the first guy to put 500 pounds over his head. Well, he used to wear a belt and everything. Now, if you look at the Olympic weightlifters doing that, they're not wearing belts. They have abs and they have their core strength is unbelievable. And that's just how it is now. It's a whole different ball game. But that's about it. Strong abs, strong low back. So that's basically working your core, you working your abs. There's different ways to do it. And there's different kind of crunches. We don't call them sit-ups now, we call them crunches. And basically, thankfully, the days of laying flat on your back, with your buddy holding your ankles, you put your hand behind your head and you did that whole sit-up come up to your knees. Those days are gone, thankfully, because that just led to, I don't even know how many hernias that must have caused. But now what you have is you lay on your back. Again, you can do it on the bed too. You need to bring your knees up, your feet flat on there. You cross your hands across your chest. Keep your head in a neutral position and just bring your shoulder blades up 4 to 6 inches off the ground. That's all they want now for crunches. Works the abs really tight, really concentrated, and you work it like that. You come up, it's nice. And that, you could do that same thing, 3 sets, maybe 10. And you get strong abs for your low back falls right into place and you'll get a strong low back as well. So not only can you do those kind of crunches, you can do the ball crunches that Tim was just talking about. We have there's a video link to that too, and that's pretty wild. And those are the big TheraBalls or Swiss balls they call. You get on there, it's like it's a real bouncy, but it shows you how to do it. Now, a lot of this stuff is for the gym, and we're going to talk about how this stuff now that we're still at home, we can work out there. So after the ball crunches, and like I said, we got a link to that, we have chair crunches. And the beauty of that, you're not on the ground, you're just sitting on a chair. And I'll move back and I can show you some. There's a good link there. It's about 12 minutes. It's pretty good. You want to sit up straight. You want to be on a chair that doesn't have any armrests on it. Sit up straight. You suck your navel back to your spine and just raise one leg. And you bring it up and you bring it down. And then you can alternate. And you say, well, that's not much, but you start to get up 4, 5, you start to feel it. Then if you want to make it real difficult, then you turn. Like that. That'll work, and that's working your abs and it's working your obliques.
And there used to be a guy on TV that showed you how to do that.
Was that Jack LaLanne?
Yes, he did.
Oh, Jack LaLanne. There's the man. He's the boy wonder. He started it all for us.
Yeah, he very, very simple. I was very fortunate to get to meet him and work with him on America Fitness Leader program with the United States JCs. And at that time, I think he was 70 when I met him, and I was only in my 40s. So this was like 30 years ago. But what a great guy. And at that time, he was still like swimming a couple miles every day. He was just amazing, man.
Pulling boats when he was swimming too. I mean, it was crazy what he could do. So yeah, so if you get there, you check that out, and chair crunches. And believe me, it doesn't look like it's much, but at the end of those 12 minutes, I was sweating it out. It was really, really good workout. Comet. Okay, Comet. What do we think? We think, well, let's get that heart rate up, people. Okay, remember what the American Heart Association recommends: at least 150 minutes per week, 150 minutes, or the 75 minutes of a vigorous activity. All right, and that's over the course of a week. All right, a lot of us are on some kind of medication now, whether it's for hypertension, atrial fibrillation, cholesterol, etc. Getting our heart rate up into that target zone that they always talk about. Oh, you got to get your heart rate up into the zone. It's not easy. It's not that easy, especially with the medications, or feasible. Your heart's just not going to want to do it. It's not going to go against what the medication is helping it do. So what we look at and what we call is your perceived rate of exertion, or PRE, and it's basically how you feel about the exercise you're doing. You can make that exercise your own. And it's a scale that goes from 1 to 10. 1 is very much like you're basically sitting on a couch watching TV, or 10, and that you feel like this exercise could absolutely kill you, literally kill you. That's how much it's affecting you. So what you try to do for yourself is to get to numbers 4, 5, and 6. In walking, we would say that's conversation speed. All right? Can you walk and have a conversation with the person next to you? All right? If you could do that, you're doing fine. Everything's working fine. If you're able to carry on, if you're able to sing and be animated and jump around, you're probably not working hard enough. Conversely, if you can hardly talk and talk, no. You got to cut it back, because you're going to end up with your tongue on the ground along with you. So you got to dial it back. But all the things you do, think about it. If you walk and you can talk, that's a good thing. If you bike and you can talk, that's a good thing. In aerobics classes, they have everybody yelling and hooting hard. There's your walking. There's your talking. Your perceived rate of exertion. Might not work so well with swimming. So that's something that you want to find that works for you in just about anything you do, is your perceived rate of exertion. How is it affecting your body? Okay. Cupid. We got Cupid. All right. Train with somebody. All right. Train with somebody. Get out there. Train with your friend. Train with your spouse, your grandkids, your significant other, your partner, whatever. Get out there. Training with someone is good for a number of reasons. It's more fun, and it's safer. You get out there, it's the buddy system, and you look out after each other as you're doing. The more the merrier, as it were. A little anecdote, a little story about 2 weeks ago. My wife and I was on a 20-mile bike ride, and at the 15-mile mark, I hit a pothole or something, blew out my tire, and almost got thrown off. Well, we're 5 miles from home. Well, she was able to pedal home, get the car with the racks, come back and get us, and we're home lickety split. Now, if I had gone and did that alone, most times I don't bring a cell phone, so I would have had to walk that bike back 5 miles and everything, and that wouldn't have been very smart or fun. Okay, now we come to the big boys. Now we're getting into the meat of this. Donder and Blitzen, the lightning and the thunder and the lightning. Here's our big boys. Okay, this is our weight training. This is our resistance training. With that, you could do band training and tube training, or body weight training, just using your whole body. Again, the American Heart Association recommends that you get some kind of moderate to high intensity muscle strengthening activity at least twice a week. At least twice a week. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start with the moderate weight training resistance training workout. Now, an example of this is very basic. This is for somebody who probably hasn't trained before or a lot. And what you're going to do is you're going to work out twice a week, and you're going to do full body. Okay, when they say full body, what you're going to train is you're going to train your chest, you're going to train your back, you're going to train your shoulders and your arms and legs. Now, you're only going to do 1 to 2 sets, but you're only going to do 12 to 15 repetitions. So you're going to keep it real basic. Now, the beauty of this is that you can actually do all of this at home. And with, especially now with the gyms closed, this is something that you can do on your own. Okay? With your chest, you can do push-ups. Now, you don't necessarily have to get on the ground to do your push-up. You can do a wall push-up. You get yourself against the wall, step back, so all of a sudden your arms are extended and you're leading in there, and you bring yourself in and push yourself back. All right? It's nice and easy, stretches out your chest, works the arms, works your back as well, and you're able to get that done. Or if you think you can do it, you get on the ground and do a regular push-up or a push-up off your knees. That's okay too. Okay, if you're going to work that,
I had a rotator cuff surgery a couple of years ago, and that was one of the things that, as I worked my way back, was not only the bands but also doing the wall push-ups. And again, you can't, I'm a hefty guy. Getting down and doing regular push-ups wouldn't have worked, but the wall push-ups allowed me to build up.
right?
And so, and they were very easy, low impact, and actually, what's nice is to do them, and I would just do them as I felt good. It felt very good.
Get a nice stretch in there, and you start working yourself back. Okay, working. So you want to work your back. Well, so I'm thinking about, well, what can you do if you don't have any kind of free weights, hand weights, or anything at home? You can use a gallon jug of water. Just fill it up with water. A gallon of water is roughly 7 pounds. You want to make this heavier, fill it with sand, fill it with rocks. What you do is you grab a hold of it, you bend over, and it's like you're starting your lawnmower. You bring it up. There you go. You do your reps that way. If you don't have a gallon jug, a gallon of paint, empty gallon of paint bucket. Put rocks and put sand in there. Same thing. You can bring it right up. And that's working your back. So that works good too. Okay. You want to work your shoulders. Well, you could probably use the same thing. Stand here and raise it to the side. You could do it the same thing with the water. Bring it up. And then what you're doing is you're working your deltoid. You're working your side delt. You could also do it to the front. And this is just at home. This is just stuff that you have laying around at home. You want to work your shoulders. We just did that. Arms, okay? You're going to get the arms going. Curls for the girls, guys. Let's go. Sun's out, guns out. Just bring it right up like that. That's it. There's it. Fill that with rocks, wood, sand. You'll get good resistance against that one. Turn it around the other way. You're going to work your forearms. And then when it comes to doing your legs, well, you could do a body weight squat. And everything's just working with your body. So how you would do that is you turn sideways, you sit your weight, you put yourself near a chair that's not going to roll around for you. You get yourself situated, and you squat down. And you just let your behind touch the top of the chair. I don't know if you can see the chair. But you just want to get it to the top of the chair. And there it is. That's it. Now you start to get 10 or better of those, you'll feel that in your quads and your glutes and your hamstrings. So that's a workout for your legs. Or if you go to the gym when it finally lets us back there, you can use free weights. And those free weights are basically plates and dumbbells and bars or machines. They got the selectorized. You put the pin in, and there's the weight, okay? The advantage to free weights is that when you do a free weight, say like you're doing a bench press with a free weight, and you got it out there, and you're bringing it up, you have to stabilize these weights. So you're working other muscles, intrinsic or stabilizing muscles in your body. And actually with free weights, you'll get a little bit stronger than if you use a machine weight. Now, machine weights have their upside is because they're safer. All right, you're working in the gym on a machine. They have a back pad. You're seated with your back against the pad or your chest, and you're doing the weight. Now, for whatever reason, if the weight becomes too heavy while you're pressing it, what do? You just lower it back down and you're done. With free weights, if you're doing a bench press and you're bringing up, it's too heavy, well, now you got to try to re-rack it. you got to try to put it in there or put it on the ground. And then you're opening yourself up to a possibility of getting injured. So you can do a lot of good things with machines, and it's just safer, so you're not getting yourself hurt. And then it's always good to find out how to use all of this if you get back into the gym. I don't know, my gym stopped, they closed down in February. So a lot of this stuff I've been doing at home. I've been doing the free weights, well, not the free weights, the body weight stuff. And it's just, it's not going to get me like real strong, but what it'll do is it'll help me by the time the gym gets back. And the same thing with you. It'll help you if you go to the gym, you'll get back into it because muscle has memory, and you'll fall right back in place. Now, if the American Heart Association talks about a high intensity workout, well, what does a high intensity workout look like? Well, it could be like this. You're going to train 4 to 5 times a day. No, not a day. Yeah, that's real high intensity. 4 to 5 times a week, and you're going to do probably 3 sets, but it's going to be different body parts on different days. So an example of that would be on Monday, you're going to work your chest and your triceps. All right. Now, not only are you going to work your chest, you're going to do a flat bench for your chest, an incline bench for your chest, and some kind of pec fly to squeeze out the chest. And you're going to do 3 sets for each one of those exercises. 3 sets, probably 8 to 10 reps. For the triceps, it's going to be a push down. You're going to stand, grab the weight, push it down. It's usually on a pulley system, cable system. Then you're going to turn around, put your back to the machine, and get a tricep extension. You can do it like that, or you can get a dumbbell and use it to extend over your head. Just like that, tricep extension. 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. And if you really want to get wild, you can add another one in called a kickback. Take your dumbbell and push it back. Like that. 3 sets of 8 to 10. So it gets pretty intense. And for Tuesday, that would be your back and your biceps. That would be a front pull down, a seated row, and a single arm row. With the pull down, as you grab the pull, it's a machine, and you pull it down to your chest. Okay. Seated row is you face the weight and you pull it towards you. Works your back. And then the 1 arm row, I showed you with the paint can. Pull it up that way. Wednesday would be shoulders, seated shoulder press, the lateral raise like we did to the side or the front, and then some kind of rear delt. Now a rear delt is on the machine. Your chest is against the pad, grabbing handles in front of you, and you're pulling the machine backwards. And that works all across the upper back, your deltoids, rear delt, and some of your traps. On Thursday, you do legs. For those who want to use leg press or a leg sled, you would do that. Leg extension, leg curl. So you're working the whole leg area. 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, well, that can be your rest day. Or if you're really wild, those people would use that for your cardio. And now they have another example of high intensity training, or HIIT, H-I-T, is CrossFit. Anyone ever heard of CrossFit? No? Okay, CrossFit is wild. It's like, those are the guys that turn over it's like the strongman competitions. It's the guys that turn over the big tires, and then they get the ropes, the battle ropes, and they move them up and down. And in between those sets, they do push-ups and burpees. And I mean, it's a killer workout. It lasts about 40 minutes, but it is very, very, very intense.
I have a feeling that most of our Santas in this last segment are sitting there sleeping themselves. I'm worn out already just listening to him.
Right, and it's just.
I have a question for you on this. Are any of the videos that we have on that listing cover these items, like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday section?
No, that's from years of training when I would train somebody. Actually, that workout I just gave is the exact same workout I do.
If you find a link or something like that, I think that would be the easier way for the Santas to follow up on this.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
be able to, for those who want to get into the heavy stuff. I know that out in California, one of my good old friends, Harold Deem, Harold actually did the leg presses and actually, I believe, held some records at the Senior Olympics in his leg presses and stuff like that. He was very, very active in fitness.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just again, everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own lane that they want to train in. I'm just trying to give it like every there. Throw it out to everybody if they want to. It's just another way of kind of pushing yourself to get yourself a little bit stronger. You can do the high intensity working out the days. You just don't. You can just cut it back. You don't have to do heavy weight. Actually, it's probably better to do higher repetition, 12, 15, maybe even 18, because then you're putting endurance into the muscle as opposed to like a real strength and power component. Like you're never going to after 30, you're not making the testosterone to get real big. What you do want to get at this point in our lives, I mean, I'm 63, is I want to have the endurance and the strength of my muscles. So I can, I can walk up and downstairs with no problem. I can pick up a child, put them on my knee or next to me, without worrying about, is my back going to decide to take a hike or something? Or am I not fit enough where I can't even lift that child? I can need help. So then it comes to body weight workout. Okay, and we talked about that, doing push-ups and crunches and squats, and this is all good stuff. It's just basically the pandemic has put us into the situation where we're stuck at home, so we got to get creative in what we're doing. And the beauty with all of this is that Mrs. Claus can do it as well. What she just has to do is go with much lighter weight and probably more repetitions. But this is great, and anybody who knows about osteoporosis, or Mrs. Claus, osteopenia, osteoporosis. This weight training is fantastic for that stuff. Strengthen the bones and get them tough.
The body weight workouts, again, that was one of those things that Jack LaLanne,
Yep.
everything he did was, just basically your body. And he might be a simple thing of just putting a broomstick over your shoulder to do twisting exercises, which help your abs and your intestines and everything else. He did all kinds of neat things. But the idea is to be active, to be physically active, because this is what allows us to hang around this green earth a lot longer.
Flexibility is huge. You get, you keep your body strong, and everything falls into place. Now there's good science. There's a lot of good articles about if people are, I wouldn't say type 2 diabetics, but their sugar runs high, maybe in the hundreds. 126, two consecutive readings puts you into the diabetic category. So if your sugar's running high, your glucose, 112, 115, you start weight training, you can actually bring your sugar down. Because when you start to weight train, you start to cut weight. And we didn't really go into nutrition here, but that could be another thing. But nutrition, once you start doing that, it all falls into place and things happen for
you. Yeah. Did you cover band training?
Band training. Oh, the band training. You had talked about that. That's right. Band training is you see that a lot in the physical therapy offices, and I think it's like red, blue, and green, and each one has a varying resistance level to it. And the beauty of that is your physical therapist would cut you off 3 feet of band and you could do everything with it. They would show you all the exercise. You put it behind your back. I mean, I don't have any bands here, but you put it behind your back, you can do a fly. You could work your arms like that. Well, it's the resistance is there. You could take it and you pull it back. You work your back as well. Step on it.
They're fantastic.
Man, and inexpensive too. That's the thing. You could get, like I say, you can go to a supply. They cut you off X amount of feet. You put it over top of the door. You could do your triceps down like that.
When you're traveling, a lot of you Santas are going to be going on the road this year. I hope, going to the malls and stuff.
Right.
Having a couple elastic bands are great. I mean, you can tie it around a doorknob and do pulling exercises with one arm, turn around and pull the other way, and
Sure.
all kinds of things you can do with them. For me, by the way, there was also a yellow band. That's for the wusses, the little, you know.
Well, especially if you're working back from an injury, the first thing they want you to get your range of motion back. And then they start to work on your strength and then your flexibility. And as you get better, I mean, that's, you know, for the PT, they'll tell you, okay, we're going to go up to this color. We're going up to this color and stuff. But it's stuff like that. If you travel, I mean, that's, you know, that's like, remember years ago, Ron Popeil, the pocket fisherman? There you go. There's the pocket gym. Get yourself some bands and you're ready to go.
Yeah, it was great.
It's awesome. Yes. And, I'll put out my email if people have questions. I don't know if they have questions or if they have, concerns about something. Absolutely. Like I said, I've trained a myriad of people over my 15 years.
Yeah. By the way, some of the videos that are on the links that are on the website that Dr. Andy put in there for us are a 20-minute exercise workout for at home. Quarantined at home, another 20-minute exercise routine. And these are for seniors and beginners. So we're not talking the heavy weight training or anything like that. These are just lightweight exercises to help you feel good, get the blood flowing, You'd be surprised what a little bit of exercise can do to your mental capacity, make you feel better. By the way, we did have somebody, I'm trying to think of somebody asked a question. By the way, George Campbell said, Jack LaLanne used to call the bands the glamour stretchers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the senators had a question with regards to exercise, and he wanted to know, does exercise help the brain fight dementia and Alzheimer's?
There's been studies, Alzheimer's and all. Any kind of exercise will help you. There's more things that go into Alzheimer's and dementia, and that you really would have to talk to a neurologist to get the lowdown on that. We can make the body stronger, and we could probably hold off certain things a little bit, but stuff like that, that's a neurologist.
Sometimes it's just genetics.
It's just how it is, So I see some down here asking about Parkinson's. Parkinson's, what they found was boxing. Boxing was tremendous with Parkinson's. And I remember at the gym that I worked at, there was a class that was for Parkinson's patients. They would come in, they would hit the heavy bag, it was shadow box. It's fantastic, and this is something that actually been around for years. I mean, it's just came into notoriety and to put, I guess, the public light maybe within the last 5, maybe 8 years. But boxing has been phenomenal for Parkinson's patients.
Yeah. I started in my school talking about the stretching exercises and the simple things really for the Santa, stretching and walking. Because one of the things I learned as we get older, the muscles stiffen, they'll atrophy. If you sit around too much, you don't get up, don't get around, you sit and watch too much TV, or like I do, I sit too much at the computer.
Lose it or lose it.
You lose some of the muscle tone. So getting out and walking is important. And your legs, in large part, are going to determine how active you're going to be in your old age. Because if you can still get around, that means your heart pumps better and you don't get stuck in the bed or the chair. So it's very important to have all these little exercises. We didn't talk about one other thing, Dr. Andy, or not one other thing, but a couple of the things. I know we talk about exercise, but I also like to think about the rest of what a doctor will tell you when you go visit them. And that is, of course, about eating well, the fluids, drinking plenty of liquids, getting plenty of rest. And what information do you have on that?
Okay, well, with the intake of fluids, it was always, you always heard like, 8-ounce glasses of water a day to keep you going. What we found then, the easiest thing to tell our patients and people that we trained, our clients or whatever, was drink half your body weight in fluid ounces of water. Half your body weight. Because especially if you're a bigger person, you need more water. 8 glasses may not do it for you. Conversely, if you're somebody who's coming in at $1.20 or something like that, not only Santa's, but just general population, well, that's 60 ounces. Well, that's almost half a gallon. You know, so everybody, so they found it's just
So 1 ounce per pound,
probably half an ounce per pound.
half an ounce per pound.
You want to do half your body weight in fluid ounces of water is the best.
So if you're weighing in at 250, that's 125 half ounces or 62.5 ounces of water.
Well, if half your body weight would be 100, if you're 250, 125, that's the amount of water you would drink. That's basically a gallon. A gallon's 128 ounces. So if you go 125, that's a gallon. You get, you know, that's one of these things. You fill this with water, you knock out in a day, you're done.
Yeah.
Now, downside is people of our age, men of our age, you know, we for whatever reason, you know, prostate problems, and we end up with a bladder the size of a thimble. And, you know, I would be cursed by people because they would never get things done if you drank that. But that's kind of the rule of thumb. Is to,
Yeah. Well, having, you know, the fluids are very, very important. By the way, when you wear that suit and you're sitting in the mall, you'd be amazed how much water you lose through your perspiration. So you need to keep hydrated during the season. It's very, very important.
be hydrated.
Salts, or like I said, Gatorade or anything like that, you know, anything that keeps you, you know, keep the system running.
You stay hydrated and your muscles stay plastic. They stay flexible. They stay, you know, pliable. And that's what, once you start to dehydrate, that's when you start to get tightened up and you start to get cramps and things that don't feel so good.
Yeah. I think one of these episodes, maybe we should just talk about eating habits for Santa, because you need to eat well during the holidays. You know,
absolutely.
Again, it's you're running odd hours and odd work, and
Sure.
stay away from the snacks if you can, or if you do get snacks, try to make them practical. I like to use Frosted Flakes and things like that, which at least it's cereal and it's not that bad, you know.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, when your nutrition is very important. For those Santas that are looking maybe to drop a few pounds in the off season or try to get back, bring the blood pressure down, get things, you know, back in order. It's as easy as calories in to calories out. And basically you want to look at you always want to be in a caloric debt if you want to cut weight. It works out to 3,500 calories a week is 1 pound. That's basically 500 calories a day that you have to eliminate from your diet or your day. Now, how can you do that? Well, walking. And rule of thumb has always been, you walk a mile, you run a mile, it's about 100 calories. If you bike, you have to bike about 3 miles to the equivalent of a mile for a walk, only because it's a machine. But yeah, it's 100 calories there. So if you do a workout, you walk a mile, boom, there's 100 calories. If you cut 400 calories from your meal plan, well, I don't like to say diet, but it's a meal plan. If you cut there's your 500. You're right there. Rule of thumb is, if you want to know how many calories you're taking in a day to stay at the weight you are, you take your weight and throw a 0 on the end of it. So if somebody's coming in at 250 pounds, they're taking in at least 2,500 calories a day. And that's going to maintain their body weight.
And the one other item I had was getting plenty of rest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as probably the teenagers probably need the most rest. And as we grow older, we don't get the 8 hours. Maybe we get 6, whatever it takes. But we're nappers. You know, people get power naps, 15 minutes, they feel like $1 million. Or you got the people that take the siestas, long around for 2 hours, but they get up there like Superman. But yeah, rest is extreme. That's your body repairing itself. You want that rest. And, you know, you want to, and believe it or not, your body wants to be kind of flat when this is all happening too. You want to sleep in a bed and try to catch your sleep in a chair.
Oh, that's great. And then of course, eat well and take your vitamins and get your flu shots and all those other things to be in good shape for the season. I didn't know if anybody had any questions. I mean, if you guys, your microphones, actually, you can turn them on if you want, if anyone wanted to ask any verbal questions without having to type it in. Nobody? Oh my goodness, maybe I have to open another switch.
Hey,
There we go. Try again, try again.
there you go.
Okay, there you go.
On the brains, my trainer, when I started 2 years ago, he said, your brain needs to keep firing impulses. And whatever you can do to make your brain firing impulses keeps it alive. And by wiggling your fingers just like that, it's so many more impulses that your brain does, and that keeps it working, keeps it healthy. So that's why, just looking for more backup. He was a weight trainer basically. So was that inspiration or what it was? But that's what he was saying. You know, pulling your arms. You know, it takes a lot of brain function to do that. And by exercising, even walking and moving your arms, everything,
Absolutely.
that keeps your brain going and helps it stay healthy. And then
I think that's part of the Parkinson's, fighting Parkinson's too.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, once you see, like, and unfortunately with Alzheimer's is that I mean, they can do tests to find out kind of if you're going into it, but unfortunately they don't find out you actually had Alzheimer's until it's all over.
Yeah.
And everything, it's use it or lose it. I mean, that's the thing. Your muscles have memory, and do it. And it's basically something is better than nothing. You know, if you can only walk twice a week, well, you know, that's better than walking no times a week. And whatever what you want to keep your brain nimble, there's a lot of things. There's like word searches. There's like where's Willa, where you're trying to do things. And then again, if you're going to do body, you know, you're going to work out. Well, you're releasing endorphins and kephalin, and you're getting all the biochemistry going, all things that go through the brain. It's good.
By the way, one of the things that Dr. Andy talked about was Cupid. And Cupid was having a partner, somebody walking, getting someone to go with you and going out and walking. It's amazing how that helps you forget how far you've walked, the distance you've walked. You forget about everything. You enjoy yourself. The conversation is great. Unfortunately, the malls are kind of closed right now, but there's a group called Silver Sneakers, and they walk through malls and shopping centers. And again, there's so many things going on around them that it distracts you, and you don't realize that you're actually getting a workout.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it. You're walking and you're talking. You're having, you know, I mean, it's just you're working your lungs, you're working your legs, you're working everything, and you're covering a distance, and you don't even realize what you're doing.
So it's great stuff.
Oh, everything.
Any other questions out there? Thank you, Bernard, by the way, for your question.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, again, I think I don't know if you have my email, but if you have questions, maybe I don't want to, you know, say it on there, but if you have questions about training, I'll be more than happy to try to help you out. Like I said, I try to give you a little bit of everything just so you can understand what's going on. I don't really expect a lot of people to do the high intensity, but you can do it. You don't think that you cannot train. It's just you may not be able to do the weights that you did when you were 20 years old. You know, like I said, when you're 30, your testosterone starts to go down, and you know, things happen with your strength and everything. So, but
Andy, do you want to give him your email address?
Sure. My email address is A as in Apple, M as in Mary, G as in George, 813 at Comcast.net.
And I will put that on the web page just above the listing of all the videos that he has given a list for, so that you can contact him. If you, I'll also have it, I'm going to tag the end of the YouTube video. I'll tag it with your email address so that people can reach you on that. And, but again, that's it for this week, everybody. And I'll do some more follow-up on Santa's image next week, a little different area on his image and stuff. And of course, I'll have lots more updates. I constantly get updates, and as I get them, I'll pass them out to you. Anything I learn about what's going on in our industry as we're looking towards the holidays, I want you to have all that. Remember that September 8th, we'll have Megan here from Gig Salad. Again, I wish to thank Dr. Andrew Gould, Santa Andy, for being our guest this evening and for sharing his insight into helping all the Santas keep fit and getting ready for our Christmas Eve. So thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Okay. Until next week, everyone, thank you for joining us, and may the joys of the season be with you always.
Thank you.